Thinking of putting your song on Spotify or YouTube? Hold on, you might be one copyright strike away from losing your track, your royalties, or even your account. Let's break this down so you know exactly what you can and can't use when it comes to beats, samples, and licensing in general. So, to get started, when you release music on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, copyright rules are crucial. Everything you use in your song, the beats, the samples, and the vocals, must be legally cleared for commercial use. If you don't have the right permissions, your release could get pulled, or you might owe legal fees. So, starting out, let's talk about releasing songs on YouTube. As you might have seen, many people post songs on there with beats by someone else. On YouTube, you can upload tracks using beats you've released, free instrumentals, or even make cover versions of your favorite songs, and generally anything you want. But there's a catch. The producer might already have Content ID set up, so your video could get claimed or monetized by them. That's not a strike, but you won't earn revenue. However, when you want to release on paid DSPs, the rules tighten. You must have explicit rights to commercially exploit the beat. If your license agreement doesn't include distribution rights, your song could get rejected or even taken down. Starting out with YouTube beats. Every artist used one at some point of his career, and there are a lot of free beats to choose from. But just because it says free on the title doesn't mean you can freely distribute your song commercially. To use a YouTube beat on paid DSPs, the uploader must explicitly state in the description that the beat is free for profit or free for commercial use. Without that, it's risky to distribute because their license terms usually don't cover paid streaming. Always check the description and any link license terms carefully before using YouTube beats for distribution. The next most famous place people get beats from is no other than BeatStars. Used by many producers and artists, it's a visual marketplace for all your beats and sample needs. When you're using a BeatStars beat, you always need to buy a license, and there are two types of those, which I will explain now. First of all, we have non-exclusive licenses. Non-exclusive means you're leasing the beat alongside many others. You get limited usage rights defined by the license, and other people have the right to use the same beat as well. You can post a song in the DSPs with this kind of license, however, the composition is not unique and you therefore cannot use any fingerprinting services like YouTube Content ID. User content platforms like Instagram and Facebook also sometimes refuse to add songs to their libraries if the license isn't exclusive, meaning your song could not make it to Instagram Music if your license isn't exclusive. On the other hand, owning an exclusive license means you get the full rights to the beat. No one else can sell or use it once you have bought it. This is the safest choice for commercial releases and can apply to fingerprinting services. When buying an exclusive license to a beat, you can distribute the songs everywhere without any problems. And this is especially useful for artists that want to distribute with Content ID to claim extra revenue. Regardless of whether the license is exclusive or non-exclusive though, it is always very important to read the terms listed in the license because each producer can set his own terms, meaning the rights can vary from license to license. For example, you might have a non-exclusive license allowing up to 2,500 streams, while other licenses allow up to 10,000 or sometimes even unlimited streams. Always read the terms so that you can save yourself from buying a license that will not help your case. So, concluding the beat stores, we will now move on to buying samples. There we have two major platforms that many people use, which are Splice and Looperman. Starting with Looperman, it offers free loops and samples, but there's a major risk. Some loops might contain copyrighted material lifted from commercial songs. Because of this, when you use Looperman loops, platforms like Instagram or TikTok could reject or take down your uploads automatically due to copyright detection systems. For paid DSP distribution, using such loops can also get your tracks removed or flagged, so be very cautious when using Looperman content. Splice, on the other hand, has samples that are royalty free and cleared for commercial use, meaning you can safely use them in songs distributed on DSPs. However, Splice samples are non-exclusive. Anyone else can also use the sounds, and just like the non-exclusive beat licenses, you cannot distribute them to Content ID, and sometimes even Instagram Music. So if you really want to stand out, you should create unique melodies or arrangement around those samples, but you're still legally safe to distribute your music with them. So, to sum it up, always check licenses before using any beat or sample for paid distribution. Use YouTube beats only if they're labeled as free for profit. BeatStars exclusive licenses are the safest bet, but you could get away from using a non-exclusive one. Be wary of Looperman loops due to the copyright risks. Finally, splice samples are a reliable, royalty-free option for making your own beats. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with Rewave news. Until next time, thank you for being at Rewave.